Hey there, you're watching the Jessa channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and today I am here with a new Just Jessa episode. That's my kitty Lila. That's Lila jumping up on her cat tower. And we have kitties today to share, so that's awesome. But first, there's some bad news to share. First of all, I apologize. I'm not going to be my normal sort of happy-go-lucky self. I still have a giggle or two in me. That's good. That's a good sign. Today is Friday the 13th. It hasn't necessarily been unlucky, but it's definitely been frustrating. So, kind of a bad day today. First of all, the bad news to share is that you may have noticed that there have not been many videos on the channel in the last few days. And the reason why is because there have been changes to YouTube's systems. Actually, there's been changes to YouTube's management of networks, is more specifically the problem. I am with a network, and I joined a network a few months ago to protect my channel from difficulties that can happen when you are just with AdSense. And YouTube made changes in the last few days, which changed my status within the network and many other people's. In fact, the majority of people who are in networks changed their statuses as well, so that the protection that I was getting from the network from copyright content ID claims is no longer effective. The long and short of it is that many of my videos have been flagged, for lack of a better term, by an automated content ID system, including videos that I had ready to go up for you guys in the last few days. So I've had to take those videos down. I will have to rework them so that I can hopefully pass the content ID system. I wanted to give you guys a little background. There's a lot of information on YouTube about it already. All you have to do is go and search copyright and search for videos that have come out in the last week, and you'll see plenty. But as how it affects me and you and the channel is that for me it's very stressful, first of all, and I am struggling with it in the background here. But it means that content for the next 2 months may not come out as quickly or as often as it would normally come out for my channel. I've always aimed to have 1 video out per day, and sometimes I make that, sometimes I even get 2 out, but it may be harder to do that because of how YouTube's new systems are going to go into place. Basically, YouTube has an automated system in an effort to combat blatant and copyright infringement on YouTube. YouTube has a content ID system. This has been in place for many years, but many people joined networks in order to avoid the brokenness of the content ID system, the ineffectiveness of it. In the YouTube world, the burden of proof on proving whether you should or be allowed to place the video up or not lies on the content creator, the YouTube creator. The burden of proof does not lie with the copyright holder. That means that the content ID system, which is automated, as I've mentioned before, how it works is someone can take their song, for example, or their video, or a cutscene from a game, or music from a game, and they can take the data, plug it into this content ID system, and say anything that matches this data, flag it, and put it into into the content, flag it for a potential copyright infringement. When that happens, you, the content creator, me, the content creator, gets an email and says this video has been flagged. And at that point, I can appeal it or I can accept it. I can accept it and say, yes, that video, what this person has said is in the video. This music actually is in the video. I did use it. It's not mine, and they can have it. They can have the monetization. So that means all the monetization goes to them. Now, let's say I play a snippet of a song in a Skyrim video, and that song is part of the Fantasy Music Project mod or some other Skyrim mod, and someone has music that matches that in the Content ID system. They can say that you played 30 seconds of this video, this music in this video, and that music is mine. So that entire, all the money from that video, even if the video is 30 minutes long and nothing else in the video belongs to that person, but that 30 seconds of music, they can take the monetization for that entire video forever. If I don't appeal it, if I accept it. Now, if I appeal it, I can either say it's under fair use, if that is applicable, or I can show that I have bought that music, if that's applicable, or I can take the video down. But in the end, what happens is, while this whole process is going on, the video monetization is going to the other party. They can then come back and just refuse my appeal, and I can appeal again, and at that point they can either, if they choose to refuse it, they can issue me a copyright strike or a takedown notice. So it can create a lot of harm for your channel, because you get 3 copyright strikes and then your channel is deleted permanently, no questions, no argument. So for me to even have 1 copyright strike or 1 content ID match that has gone into a copyright strike is, for me, an absolute no-no. I would never want any of that on my channel at all. And so what it means is it adds a lot of workload to my day as far as being able to get the video out on time. In January as well too, there's going to be a new system coming into place where a video will have to go through a review process, which is something that's already been happening, but it's going to be more firm, more something that everyone has to go through, unless you are one of the few who've managed to remain out of the fray, being in a certain type of partner. But otherwise, all the rest of us peons out here in the YouTube world are going to have to go through this process. So that means that, for example, when The Sims 4 comes out, if I can't obtain written permission from EA to put the gaming video up, I can't put it up, or I can't monetize it. One of those two. So you might be thinking, well, okay, Jessa, well, that's well and good, but how does that affect me as a viewer? And the answer is, it doesn't really, except to understand that content may be slower in coming out. There may be, once I can get kind of caught up and once the fray settles down, I should be able to go back to regular placing of videos. But I may make a lot of videos and then be unable to put them up for one reason or another. This is also why it's going to affect some of the Let's Plays, and that there won't be music anymore in the Let's Plays. This Just Jessa episode, I usually have music playing in the background that we kind of groove to while we're going. I won't be able to do that as well too. So Let's Plays are going to be a little bit more bland in that way, because I'm going to avoid music completely. So I think that's all I wanted to share with you about that, is just what's happening behind the scenes, why I've been a little bit quiet on social networks like Twitter and whatnot, and what's happening with why things are coming out more slowly. I think I've said everything I want to say about that, but if I think of something else, I'll stick it in there. But in the meantime, I want to share with you some of the positive things that are happening with the channel. And I have gotten a few emails from you guys asking me how I was dealing with Copyright Gate, and Josie was one of those who left a message on the channel, and I appreciate that, Josie. And the answer to how I'm dealing with it is like this, basically. I am in complete agreement that someone who has worked hard on a song, worked hard on a game, you own the copyright to that. I'm in complete agreement with it. What I am not in agreement with is the flawed aspect of the Content ID system. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to tell you about that was, the other aspect to the content ID system being so heavily weighted towards the copyright owner or the alleged copyright owner is that it's ripe for scams. And this is what I'm mostly getting hit with, are people who say they own some aspect of my video or of the game or of the music, and they don't own it. But they can basically make revenue by scamming people saying they own it, particularly channels that are at my size, not small enough so that, you know, there's no real money in messing with the video. But it began to hit my channel as I got bigger, as I passed about 2,500, 3,000. And also as I started putting up Sims 4 videos, which were huge, and one of my videos is over 100,000 views. And the other ones are 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 views. So those videos became ripe for scammers to go, hey, this person's too small to really have any clout and argue with us, or maybe doesn't know how to appeal this. So this is where we get our little bit of extra money. And they hit a bunch of small YouTubers like that. So that's how it works. And that's why it's so stressful, is going through the argument process and the appeal process and all that kind of stuff, and the risk it takes on your channel. Whereas the people who are scamming can get away basically scot-free from doing this stuff, and there's not too much that can be done about it, that I know of, to do about it. Besides, you know, YouTube is not going to really argue with them. They're going to say if they own the copyright, and they say they own the copyright, then they own the copyright. So, so that's a struggle. That's a real struggle. How am I dealing with this? I was saying, a lot of tea. This is my favorite teacup of all the teacups I have, and I also collect teapots. Not much of a collector of anything really, but teapots I do like. Wherever I've traveled in the world, I got a teapot back. But this was made by my sister-in-law, and I love it because it has a flat bottom, and it's sitting over here next to my desk, next to my computer on a teacup warmer. So it keeps it hot, so I can just put this little lid on it, right here. Lid. And then it keeps it hot, and I can have a little sip when I'm getting kind of stressed out. Ah, that's wonderful. And that's how I'm dealing with it. I'm getting to the point of stress that I might have to go on a Bob Ross marathon. If you guys know Bob Ross, he's a painter, or was. He passed on. Did a lot of shows on PBS, and that man is better than any Valium I've ever found, or that's for sure. Anyway, so I have some things to show you though in the background, so let me take care of those right now. And what we have up on the screen here is the new Reddit for the Jessa channel. I've talked to you guys about that, and basically what a Reddit is it's another place for you to talk with me directly about anything, basically about what's you know, things that pertain to the channel. And Reddit is a really it's basically a place where you can go and find subreddits that are about anything that interests you, basically anything. For example, some of the subreddits that I am part of is Banished, for example, is a new game that's coming out, and so I've been keeping track on that. Let's Play is a great place to get information from other Let's Players. Of course, Skyrim as well too. And it basically, people can post things that they, you know, about pertaining to Skyrim. They can post comments, they can post pictures, they can post videos as well too. So Reddit's basically a big sharing site about things that interest you. It's a great site. But anyway, anyone can make a subreddit on anything, and there are also some rather unsavory subreddits. There are subreddits that are definitely not safe for work. They're naughty subreddits. Yeah, basically anything you can think of, somebody's probably made a subreddit on it or will very soon. This is the Jessa channel subreddit. And the way it's going to work is that there's not much on here now just because I've just opened it up and I'm just getting my feet wet as to how to run it. But you can see the last two videos have been posted, Skyrim, and you can see that people went over here and left comments. And then I, in the blue here, responded to them. So it's a way to combat the Google Plus system. And I was telling you about my stress that's been going on in the background as it pertains to the channel. And the Google Plus comment integration has been really unpleasant for me, because I prided myself on building a community, and I'm still doing so. But I feel that a lot of the work I put into building a community has kind of fallen down, because people have told me, and rightfully so, that they don't want to comment on the videos because they have to make a Google Plus account, and they don't want to make a Google Plus account because Google Plus is extremely intrusive. And they're 100% correct, and I don't blame them. So people have taken to sending me personal messages on Tumblr, personal messages through YouTube, and whereas that's fine, I absolutely love to hear from you all, I would much prefer that we're all kind of communicating in one place. So this is my attempt to try and rectify that. When you come over here, you'll see that you can subscribe. I'm already subscribed to it, so because I created it. But you'll come over here and you can subscribe, and all that means is that when you go to your front page, you'll have the posts from the Jessa channel on your front page. Reddit is not too hard to figure out. It's very non-obtrusive as well too. And the other thing to keep in mind is that it takes just a few seconds, really, as long as it takes you to think of a password, really, to sign up with Reddit. There's no automatic email and no having to give them your cell phone number and all that terrible stuff, and your actual first name and your actual last name and all kinds of stuff that really is personal and private to you that Google does. None of that on Reddit. To sign up on Reddit, to start posting on Reddit, you go and you choose your username. As long as it's available, it's yours, and then you choose a password, and that's it. That's it. If you want to verify your email, then you can, but you don't have to. So, one of the things that you guys have been asking me about a lot are for pictures of my cats. And so these are our cats, Luke and Lila. And I have taken the time to put a little album of photographs up for you on the Reddit. I'm not going to show you all of them. I'll show you a few of them. That's Luke. And Luke is actually sitting right here. I'm just patting his little bottom right here. He's so cute. He has a, I'd love to be able to show you, but I don't want to mess with this webcam moving it all around. But, he has a, down comforter right here. Anyway, this is Luke and Lila, on the bed, and you can actually, make these a little bigger so that you can see, if you can just see right there. That's Luke holding his Q-tip. He has a Q-tip fetish. He really likes Q-tips. He is the only cat I have ever known, and maybe you've seen this happen. I've never seen this. Luke will fetch. If you throw the Q-tip, he'll go and he'll pick it up in his mouth, and he'll bring it, trot over, and drop it right in your hand, because he wants you to rub him with it. He likes how it feels when you rub him. Like he's so cute. Anyway, this is Luke again, hanging out on the cat tower, which is right here next to me. Let me see. And that's another one of Lila. Lila. She's so cute. She's actually in her little box right now. And they are my assistants, and they sit with me every day while I do my job. They sit here with me. And they're so spoiled. Luke won't, he will only sit on his little down comforter thing, and Lila likes to be on the cat tower. So if you want to see more pictures, oh, and by the way, my husband doesn't know this, but I hid a picture of him in there in that album. So scoot through those pictures and you'll find a picture, a somewhat amusing, slightly embarrassing picture of my husband in there. So have fun over there. If you want to talk to me, you can submit a text post. Miss Lid, if you're watching this, I had that feature turned off, but I've turned it on now. You can submit a text post. That means you can ask me a question and you can say, "Hey, Jessa," you know, and I can't type with one hand. And, you know, you just do that, and then you put some text in here, blah, 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 and then you just submit it and ask me a question. And So I'm going to start talking with you guys as well too, and asking you things like what games are you playing, or can you recommend me some adventure games to play next, or whatnot. So that's all I wanted to share with you about the subreddit. Please head on over. Let's start our community over there. Let's grow and let's enjoy ourselves. Now, next thing is to share with you the games that are coming up that I'm going to be playing, because they're fun. Now, this content ID problem that's happened means that I have recorded almost half of a Let's Play for this game, Battle for West North. And I'm going to need to re-record all of those episodes, and I'm going to start on that tonight. So that's what I mean about content being a little bit delayed, because I need to re-record them without the music. So I'll be working on that, but in the meantime, let me show you what this game is about. And let me also show you a fun thing that we're going to be doing with this game. The first thing to know about the Battle for West North is very simple. It's free. Free, baby. Open source. All free. It runs on Linux, it runs on Windows, it runs on Mac, and I believe it even runs on other things as well too. It may run on a tablet. I haven't tried, but I'm sure it does run on so many different platforms. And so everyone can play it. It's 100% free, and it is so fun. Let me show it to you. So this is the opening screen for the Battle for West North. And what it is a turn-based strategy. Let's try that again. Turn-based strategy game. I think it's time for another sip of tea. What do you guys think? Because I can't talk. Woo! After I'm done working this evening and putting together some more content for you guys, I'm gonna go get in bed, I think, and watch some Bob Ross. Because Bob Ross is like the perfect de-stressor. Okay, so Battle for West North, and let me show you the opening screen of basically what it is it's a series of campaigns. Now, the wonderful thing about this game is that it has community created, fan created campaigns, and the campaign that we're going to be playing through, called A Tale of Two Brothers, is I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe is a fan-created campaign, and it's great. So here's an example of an opening screen for Battle for West North that explains the story, and then here's the actual game. It is very fun. Very fun. I've taken to playing this game in the evenings before bed. It's just it's you know, not stressful, kind of relaxing. Now, the fun thing about this game is that these are your units. If you can see where my mouse is pointing here. And let me show you here on another screen. And by the way, let me go back to the map here and show you that you play all in West North, of course. So all these places that I'm showing you here are actually in West North. And as the game progresses, as the story progresses, you see on the map where your campaign, like you'll start here and then you'll go here and then you'll go here, you know, so it's great. It's a really great game. Anyway, so another screen here. So here's a bunch of units. Now, the fun thing about this is that you can name your units. If some of you have played XCOM, for example, that's another game, a turn-based strategy game, where you can name your units. Well, I have played through, I'm going to have to re-record it, but I have played through with you guys, renaming my units as you guys. And I'll tell you right away, some of you died. So, some of you, you know, we had a moment of silence. For example, Joe Monesto was one of the units. She was a horsewoman, and she unfortunately did not make it through the first campaign. Joe, I tried, but you got caught on a bridge alone with two sorcerers and some sort of poison ogre monster going at you, and it wasn't pretty, and you died very valiantly, I must say. But others of you, for example, Josie Smith, made it through all the way through till when I stopped playing, and halfway through the campaign. And Armor Trance, you were also a horsewoman, Armor Trance, and you made it to Knight. You actually made it to level 2, which was amazing. So I was really proud of you. You were the only unit out of all the units that made it to level 2. There were people called Darius was one of them. Hi, Darius. W.P. Greeley was another one. I'm just trying to think of names off the top of my head. Misled was one of them. Ronnie was one of them. And how I picked your names was I just went to the settings in YouTube and I chose, there's a list in there for channels that can show you your most engaged subscribers. I don't know what that means, most engaged, I know what it means, but I don't know what Google says it means. But I just picked from that list and renamed you. So what I want you to do is in the comments below, I want you to let me know if you want me to name a unit after you. And I may pick you from the list and I will name units after you. And since I'm going to start recording before this goes up, I'm going to just pick from my engaged subscribers, but then I'll also pick from the list when this video goes live. So that'll be a fun thing. And this is a little bit more of the artwork of West North, some of the way that dialogue happens as well too. And then the next game we're going to be playing is, I think you guys are going to like this. I think you're going to love it. This is Broken Sword 5. This game was a Kickstarter game, meaning it was funded by the community, and it's by Revolution Software, and it is a very good, from what I've heard, a good, let's see, homage, I think, or it carries on the story of the original Broken Swords very well, is what I'm trying to say. And it is just came out on December 4th. It's like it's coming out in episodes, kind of like the Raven did. So episode 1 and episode 2. Episode 2 will be out early next year. So I'm going to play through episode 1 with you guys, and then we'll wait and get the thrilling conclusion in episode 2 when it comes out. And it's available on GOG, Good Old Games, my favorite game distributor, no DRM at any time, and now they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you got very few reasons not to buy this game and play it along with me. And let me show you some screens from it. Here you go. I love the artwork. It's a mystery, by the way, as well too. There's a dead body that happens right in the first scene. These are the two main characters. I think it's Nick and the other man's name, I don't remember, Gabriel? I've never played the previous Broken Swords. The Broken Swords were very popular, and they still are very, very well considered adventure games that came out in the 90s when the heyday of adventure games were so strong. And here are some more screens from those. And there's the poor dead body right there. So it's, so far, I've really liked the story. I like the gameplay. I'm really pleased with it. So I think you guys are going to love it. The last game that's coming out, and I've told you about this one before, but I want to show you again with some screenshots, is Banished. Now, the developer has delayed the game again. He delayed it in, he had the summer first. Then he said late 2013. And now he's saying, you know, early 2014. So hopefully one day we'll get this game in our hands and we will be playing it. And this is what it looks like. Here's some of the screens from the game. And this is one of those games that I'm going to adjust my schedule. I mean, the minute it comes out, I will be playing it, and I'll have it up in the channel, provided we don't have to go through any copyright mess, as soon as I can. I love the colors of it. So basically what it is, I should tell you, is it is a city building strategy game. And they say city building, but you know, it's building a village. And it has resource management, and you know, you have sawmills and farms, and dealing with the people of the town, animal husbandry here with the cows and the sheep and whatnot. And I'm really looking forward to this. And not only am I looking forward to it, but it's an indie game that was created by one man. A one-man team for the entire game. So very much looking forward to getting this game out into the world and letting people know. Once again, I really hope you'll buy that game and play it along with me. So I think that is all Yeah, basically copyright difficulties and problems causing me a lot of anxiety. Head on over to Reddit. Great new games coming up. Have a cup of tea tonight if you're feeling stressed out. And I think that's it. I want to thank you so much for watching, and drop by, say hi, you know, give me a thumbs up, give me a little bit of moral support, you know. I mean, and one of the things I do to kind of keep it real is to remember that all of the problems that I'm experiencing are extremely first world problems, and that, you know, oh, woe is me, I'm having difficulty monetizing, you know, my videos where I get to play a game. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's frustrating, but it's definitely not, you know, wah! You know, so I use that to keep my head on straight and keep it real. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll just kind of groove out to some Stevie in the background. You have to kind of imagine it. You hear that groove? Isn't it nice? Oh, God. YouTube. Oh, Lord. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Commenting with Google Plus sucks. But commenting with Reddit is awesome. So head on over to Reddit and leave a comment on this video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.